Junji Ito Maniac, An Infinite Gaol. Yeah. So this is a game that's currently, there's a demo out. We don't know when the actual game's going to come out, but it should come out around 2026 sometime. I'm not sure. It's developed by Soft Star Interactive, which is a Taiwanese developer. A little bit of home field love there. But they are the same developers that created The Bridge Curse 1 and 2 and Incantation, the game. They have a little bit of experience with horror, and those are rated pretty good. They have pretty good ratings. Hopefully this will be good as well. So this seems to be based more on the anime, which is in turn based on Junji Ito's manga. So this is kind of like a 1 degree off kind of thing. But you can see a lot, but obviously the show basically is a video interpretation of his comics, so they follow the same kind of plots and that sort of thing. Feature the same kind of monsters. So if you're a fan of the comics, you'll definitely recognize a lot of stuff in it. So far, like, there is a demo. It looks like the gameplay is very similar to The Seventh Guest, with maybe a little bit of Sweet Home or maybe some PT in it. So if you've played The Seventh Guest, it's one of those kind of point-and-click adventure games. Or if you've played Sweet Home, I believe Sweet Home is Thailand, if I remember correctly. You're running around in these kind of haunted buildings or whatever, and there might be a ghost that you have to hide in a closet from, that sort of thing. So this has elements of that. There's a part where the character's being chased and they have to hide into a closet, and the enemy kind of wanders into the room and looks around. Then there's another one where they showed traps and stuff. So it looks like you're not going to be able to directly deal with threats here, but you are going to be able to maybe set some traps. So you can set them up, so you can kind of lead them into those and then get yourself out of trouble that way. But anyway, the setup of this is that you're a college student and you wake up in a mansion with only a phone and a few shattered memories. So you're not quite sure why you're there and you're not quite sure who you are. But you have some clues on your phone, and you're going to be exploring the mansion with a beautiful woman who is Tomi, who, if you are familiar with Junji Ito's work, you know who Tomi is. And it says an austere detective, which is not featured in the demo as far as I can tell. I haven't played it myself, but I've watched some gameplay videos. I'm not sure who the detective is, so I don't know. There's a couple characters that might be, or could be an entirely original character, not quite sure. But anyway, Tomi's in it quite a bit. And it's going to feature many of Junji Ito's classic horrors. We obviously have Tomi from Tomi. We have the cat and the weird-legged creature that it seems to be dragging around from Cat Diary. We have the disembodied head from Long Hair in the Attic. We have the statues from Headless Sculptures. I didn't see them as I was skimming through, but supposedly we're going to have the balloon heads from Hanging Balloons. So a lot of Junji Ito classics that you're going to know. Things that I didn't see, but who knows? Maybe we'll find it. I did not see any cracks in the shape of people. No fish with mechanical legs. No spirals. No living planets. That one might be a little bit hard to add in. But no soul gemstones. No people made out of, like, erector sets, and no freakish supermodels, and no Soichi, which is interesting that they would include Tomi but not Soichi. But who knows? He could be in there. It wouldn't surprise me if he shows up at some point. The night is still young. So anyway, looks interesting. It does look a little bit simple. It is one of those point and click things. It doesn't look like a very intensive game. But if you're a fan of Junji Ito, it's fun to go through and see things and be like, oh, I know. Sorry. It's fun to go through and see things and be like, oh, I know what that is, or I know what that is, or it's like a little museum, a little game museum in a sense. So anyway, however, if you're looking for something that's probably a little bit closer to the kind of horror that you would be facing in the comics, you can always check out World of Horror. That definitely has a very strong Junji Ito vibe. It's very heavily influenced by him and some other things. But yeah, it looks a lot like his work. It's in black and white. I think they even call it a 1-bit game. So it's just pixels of black and white. But that one's really good. So yeah, you can check out World of Horror. But if you want to see something a little more 3D, if you want to see something that's a little more moving around in smooth action and not just like you're playing a comic book, keep an eye on Junji Ito Maniac, An Infinite Gaol. No release date as of yet, but the demo is out now, so you can check that out.